Why, hello there, you folks at YouTube land here, Thrash Bondo, and I'm bringing you part three of the special 2023 wrap up. And who knows, this time we might actually talk about 2023. Although, maybe it's best if we just forget it all together. Oh, and don't forget, please, I beg you, don't forget Retro Palooza Volume 374, I think. I'm not sure, I lost count. But yeah, we're having a special Retro Palooza with all your favorite friends, myself included, Dave, Pat, Barry, and special guests, including but not limited to Retro Nerd Girl, will be on tomorrow's Retropalooza. We're really looking forward to it. And oh wow, people are piling in. Tug is here, says good evening. Good evening to you too. Love your Twilight Zone installment today. Excellent, excellent work. Sean Innes is here, says hey Thrash. Tracy's here, says hi Robert. Oh, Mrs. Thrash loved the card too, by the way. My flux, Sarah. Sarah's here, says hi everyone. Hi Sarah. I got your Facebook post on your latest YouTube post. Haven't had a chance to look at it because I was just going on live when I saw it, but I did get it. Thank you so much, Sister Sarah. Dan, the breaking news man, is here. Says, I'm here. What's trivia tonight? Funny you should ask. I get a special request tonight, and it's a special request from Zoomerplex, who he always wanted baseball, and I got baseball once, and it was not a success. He asked me to do trivia on the works of Lance Hendrickson. So, yes, tonight's is a special request trivia on the combined works of Lance Hendrickson. Big Guys 45 is here, says, hi, good evening, and a hi, good evening to you too. Just making sure a lot of people are having TikTok. Oh, fellowship with one another. Big Guys is mentioning, by the way, I'm much more active on TikTok now. I knew there was going to be a TikTok when I saw you. Big Guy, that's always welcome here. Rather than YouTube, feel free to follow me at Music Trivia Daily if you'd like to. I'm not on TikTok, but I know some people who are, and I'll pass that on to them. Gary Carpenter's uses season's greetings, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone. And Gary, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you as well. Dan says, I thought we were going to do Norman Lear. Like I said, I was going to do Norman Lear, and I still have the Norman Lear questions, so I'll probably do them next week. But again, Zuber made a request, and you know me, I'm always willing to do a special request for you guys. Keith says, what powered the Grinch's? Oh, it jumped again. Hold on one sec. What powered the Grinch's sled? It was Max Power. Oh, that's actually very cute. Old Max, I love it. Watching is here says hello, everyone. Mr. Wilkinson is here. Says good evening, Bob. Good evening to you as well. Oh, you're welcome, big guys. Big guy says dinner time, tomato soup, yummy, and grilled cheese sandwich. When I was a kid, I always loved grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup with, of course, Ritz crackers. A lot of people saying hello to one another. Justin's here. I think I may have just skipped past his. Oh, there he is. Justin says hello, and hello to you too. All right, I just want to make sure I caught everyone. And of course, a lot of people having fellowship, saying hello to one another. So I'm just going to skip down to the bottom. And yes, I am currently caught up. Now let's see what we got here. We have 13 people and 4 likes. People, I know we can do better. And Indy Spell says, hey there, Thresh. Oh, hi, Indy. How's it going? And yes, we're going to be doing part 2 of my mini series trivia tonight. I'm kidding. I'm honoring Superplex request, and we're going to be talking about Lance Hendrickson. Next week, I think, is when I'm going to do the Norman Lear trivia. Keithy says, good evening, Tugger. However, Siri spells that. It's probably Tigger. He's probably talking about. My Flux says, hey, sweet epic Dan. Loved it. Is he here yet? I haven't seen him yet. Zubik says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. To you as well. To you as well, Superplex. And we are going to do Lance Hendrickson trivia tonight. Dominic D says, hey, Bob. Hey, everyone. And hello to you, too. The Pod Blast, the nostalgic Pod Blast is here. He says, Hey, fellow nostalgia heads, and a hello to you as well. And skipping down here. Yeah, I'm caught up. Well, most people are just saying hello to one another, so it's easy. Oh, and Gary Carpenter points out Ryan O'Neal died. Rest in peace. Yes, definitely. Indy Spell says, "Hey Tug, what happened with Westerns Part Two today? We had to postpone it. I forgot why. Tug just said we had to postpone it this week. We will be doing it, but obviously not today. Oh, and by the way, Tug, you were talking about how grim the Philippines World War II based episode of the Twilight Zone was. Yes, you were so right when you pointed out he actually was in the Philippines during World War II. He actually did two Twilight Zones based on not his personal experience, but the war in the Philippines. I think it left him very traumatized, sadly. Now, he was always very proud of his involvement. He thought it was a very important war to be fought. But as you folks all know, Rod Serling was very, very anti-war. John Collins is here. He says, "Hello, Bob. John Collins, so glad to see you, young men. Glad to be back with us." Sean says, "We also lost Andre Brauger, too young." Is it pronounced Brauger? I said Brauger the other day, and someone said that that's not how you pronounced it. But yes, very, very, very sad. From Homicide, Law and Order, and of course, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Tab is here. He says, "Hey, Thrash, R.I.P. Andrew Brugger." Yes, very, very, very sad. And Tab, so glad you can make it. Doug says, "I think that's your microphone in front of you. It's glowing like an orb." Oh yeah, it's the Samsung one. But yeah, I find that if I get better reception if I bring it closer. Podblast said message retracted, and a message retracted to you too. Daryl Johnson is here. He says, "Bob, Daryl." And of course, Danny Skates is now here, and he says, um, I don't know, he jumped off the page. Not home, darn, running late. Quite all right, Dan. I'm so glad you were able to make it in any form. My Flux has shared you out, Pawns. Thank you so much, my Flux. You were amazing. All wheels down. Hello, Steve. He says hello and hello to you as well. Pablo says thanks to my flock for being there for every moment of my Superman the movie 45th anniversary special. Wow. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm sure it's very impressive. It was of great length. I'm sure it was very, very thorough. And a lot of people saying hello to one another. We'll be home shortly, Dan. That's awesome. Steve says, "Where the hell my phone?" You're, I guess, as good as me. Justin Ellett says, "Weren't the kids that died in the Landis production Filipino as well?" Yes, yes, they were. You're talking about the Twilight Zone, and yes, they certainly were. Now that you mentioned, oh, Tug says, "My grandfather was stationed in the Philippines in the late 60s. My mom partially grew up there." Wow, excellent. Lance Chafin says, "Hiya, Thresh." Lance, so glad to see you here. Great to have you with us this evening. And Keithy says, "Steve, the answer is Natalie." And Ted says, "Today today in pop culture history in 1989, Simpsons made its debut on Fox with the holiday episode Simpsons Roasting on Open Fire." I remember that. I think I actually saw it at my girlfriend's townhouse. I was in college at the time. And I'm just gonna skip down here while everyone says hello to everyone else. Gary Cameron says, "No one in my family were in the war. Lucky." Pablo says, "Great classic Twilight Zone episode reviews from the Unapologetic Geek." It certainly were. Um, Tug says, "Yeah, we had to cancel. I thought I sent an email." BK says, "Oh, BK, Barry, how good to see you." Hello, Thrash and everyone. Thanks for coming on the radio show live yesterday. Holiday Retropalooza Monday night. Yes, yes. I was a guest actually on Barry's show, BK, on the air yesterday. I always love doing that. I can't do that enough. It was so much fun. Thank you for having me on, Barry. And yes, I reminded you earlier, but again, Retropalooza tomorrow night on Dave's channel. And Cindy D. Oh, Cindy D is here. Says Cindy D says hello, Zuplex, and to pretty much everyone. And Cindy, hello to you. I'm so glad you are here with us tonight. Oh, Len says he's getting Sunlight TV tomorrow. That's awesome. Tug says to quote Godzilla minus one, not being in the war is something to be proud of. I guess, on some level you could say that. Yes, yes. That whole don't blame me. And let's just see what we got. Oh, Indy Spout says the kids that died during the Twilight Zone filming were Chinese and Vietnamese. So I was wrong on two levels. That was such a sad story. Cindy says, "Oh, hello, and hello to you too." John Bernstein is here and says, "Even I'm here." John, so great to see you. So great to see you. Welcome to the show. And BK says Godzilla minus one in the theater was an early Christmas present. 2 thumbs up. Pardon me. And Tug says, instant fact check from Indy. Pablo says that was crazy. Vic Morrow I know, wasn't that horrible? John says, I'm not putting it down, but isn't the Retropalooza more of your four guys talking than Q&A? We're kind of all over the place. It's going to be the special holiday one, so we're going to be talking about all things holiday. I'm sure people will interject their favorite Hollywood memories. Pablo says, was Vic Morrow's daughter? Ooh. Oh, I know this one. Jennifer Jason Lee is my guess, but I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go with Jennifer Jason Lee. Gary Cameron says I've not seen the new Godzilla movie yet. Me neither. I never get to the theaters anymore. Teb says which 50s family centric sitcom do you prefer better? The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Father Knows Best, Leave It to Beaver, Donna Reed Show, or The Bachelor Father. Never saw The Bachelor Father, and I didn't discover Donna Reed until they started showing on Nick at Night years later. So I would have to go Leave It to Beaver would probably be my favorite. I did love Father Knows Best, and I liked Ozzie and Harriet, but it wasn't one of my faves. I don't know why. I did not like it, but it wasn't one of my faves. Oh, Shams is hearing a lot of good things about Godzilla. Tug is like chug, chug, chug. Oh, a tug chug. Because I was chugging my sparkling water. John Burton says, is that sorry and brandy? Give me the brandy. No, it's Welch's sparkling grape juice. Non-alcoholic. Gary Cameron says there's a Kung Fu Panda. No kidding. Cindy D says Jennifer Jason Lee was his daughter, I think. Okay, so I was right. I thought that jumped in my head. I thought I could be right, but it was a Hail Mary. So I'm glad I was right. And speaking of Jennifer Jason Lee, how many of you are actually watching the new installment of Fargo, season 5? If you're not, you've got to. I've always loved the show, but this series is outstanding. I've been doing retrospects on it. I've finally caught up. I'm 5 for 5 now. Jennifer Jason Lee plays a billionaire matriarch, and she is amazing. She nails it. So yes, please watch it. I jumped again. So hold tight while I go back. Here we are. Wheels Down says, I'm going to send you to the cornfield. You're a bad man. You're a very, very bad man. Lynn says he's okay to Tracy. Very glad to hear that. Zublik says, leave it to Beaver. Teb also says Jennifer Jason Lee. And Sean says I was correct, which means everyone who said Jennifer Jason Lee is correct. And this is supported by Podblast, who says, was Vic Morrow's daughter, and Jennifer Jason Lee, who is killing it on Netflix. And I'm not sure if I watch Fargo on Hulu, but it might be on Netflix as well. But yeah, she's Nailing it. John Gold says, Bob, is retro serial done now? How is Ian? I have only recently started getting messages from him, and I have literally no, I have nothing really I can share other than he's trying to get up and going again. But he made a post on YouTube, a live chat post, and he's on Facebook. But I think he's having trouble getting his heart started. I think just kind of get away from him, and it's a huge commitment. I make it look so easy, but the truth of the matter is, it's a labor of love. And if you got away from YouTube, I could see how it would be tough to get up started again. But I'd like to think he'll be back with us very, 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 very soon. And Pablo says correct. Terry Lujan, Bella Jordan, Cindy D, and of course me. Tug says, I didn't know Jennifer Jason Lee was related to Vic Morrow. Well, I believe he died before you were born. So he wouldn't have come out much in conversation. Can you believe that? Because I always remember her as the teenage dream in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Granted, my true crush was uh, Phoebe Cates, but Jennifer Jason Lee was such a cutie. Dominic D says, "Leave it to Beaver." I'd say too. Yeah, I love Leave It to Beaver. And Lance says Vic Morrow was in Humanoids with the Jeep. He certainly was. He certainly was. And Pablo says My Three Sons was good. It certainly was. Steve says I liked Benson Fong in The Bachelor Father. Why don't I remember The Bachelor Father? Hey, wait, was that the one that had the guy who was the voice of Charlie in Charlie's Angels? Is that the show I'm thinking of? Because that doesn't sound right. But anyway, let me know in the comments to follow. Pablo says, got 5 hours to spare. I've got to show you. Oh, wait. Oh, did I freeze? Oh, no, I froze. Oh, no. Holy cow. Oh, wait. Maybe if I pin the message. Yep, that did the trick. So, Pablo, I pinned your message, but it was the only way I could think of to get her going. My flock. Oh, my flock is giving us links. Thank you so much for giving us links. I appreciate it. Justin says Jennifer Jason Lee did Fast Times nude scene the same year Morrow died. Wow. Wait, I thought Morrow died in 1984, and I thought Fast Times was 82. But I'll take your word for it. Just see. Oh, Tom Long says, sorry I'm late. No, you're right on time. Yeah, see, I jumped. So I'm having to go back here and read some of these out of order. So bear with me. Wajimine says, leave it to Beaver as well. Okay, I'm gonna skip through. Blake says Ian sees back from Wilderness recently. To John. Lance says to Tug, keep me in the loop. Steve says, based on a true story. True. And Sean, I'm assuming you mean Fargo. And Sean says she was interesting in the Twin Peaks reboot as a typical, I think. Paul Bless says Jennifer Jason Lee as Grandma in Fargo is killing it. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. I think she's like stealing the show. I really do. Although John Hamm as the ultra right wing constitutional sheriff, he makes my blood run cold. He's playing it like Mel Gibson, really, and he's doing an outstanding job. This is hands down my favorite installment. And Tug says I almost gone and watched all of the series from the beginning just so I can catch your reviews. Excellent, Tug. Thank you very, very much. I just wish I could have said that without gagging. It was not a criticism of your statement. But I'm flattered you're going to try to catch up just so that my reviews make sense. And my Flexus Pub Blast, you're epic as blank that you two for coming on my panel too. I'm glad he could make it. Cindy just says that to Lynn that she's great and asks how he's feeling. And all right, I think I've caught up actually, so I'm going to scoot down to where I left off. And again, my luck, thank you for the links. And Pod blesses, you are correct. Thrash Pondo Hulu is right for Fargo. Indy says, you're old when you see an actress start as a teenager and then make it to grandma roles. Well, wasn't it the guy from 90210 who just died recently? He said he started out as a teenager and then he started doing father roles. And he said, I was just getting old enough to do grandfather roles. So yeah, we're watching generational actors and actresses go through literally the entire life cycle. The funniest thing is, of course, she's a few years older than I am. The funniest thing is, started out, Jennifer Jason Leigh was a sexy older woman. Now I'm a dirty old man. So it's funny how the worm has turned. And Tug says he's great with that guitar. Guitar. Um, Not sure specifically, but I'll take your word for it. And Pablo says, oh yeah, good 5 hours to spare. There we go. Cindy says, my three sons have their own channel on Pluto. No kidding. And Tab says, which 60s fantasy sitcom do you like better? Mr. Ed, My Favorite Martian, Bewitched, Addams Family, The Munsters, I Dream of Jeannie, The Flying Nun, or The Ghost of Mrs. Muir? The agony of choice. I'll tell you what, for some reason, I never carried My Favorite Martian when I was a kid on any local affiliates. I discovered My Favorite Martian like years later. It was a great show, but it wasn't one that I really remember as a child. When I was a little kid, we were living in New York, and I thought Mr. was the funniest thing. The idea of a talking horse was just like the funniest. And there's like there was a commercial where they actually spliced a bunch of funny things he was doing together, and I would laugh so hard I would almost cry. So yeah, I love Mr. Ed. Adams Family. You guys, I was telling you about the Adams Family. I wanted to move in with the Adams Family as your a typical problem child. Um, to move in with a family where negative behavior was not only condoned but oftentimes rewarded. If it wasn't for their weird diet, there's one episode where they talk about having head cheese for dinner. I worked in a deli for some time, and I don't know what head cheese is, but I wouldn't recommend you eat it. Love the Munsters too. I Dream of Jeannie was great. Flying Nun, Ghost and Mrs. Muir, they're all up there. You can't go wrong. And I'll just see. Oh, Shona says my arthritis was pinged by that observation, and I don't have arthritis yet. I do. It sucks. And Tom jumped. Oh, no, wait. Hang on. Hang on. Wow. How did I get so far behind? I'm going to catch up if it kills me. And it just might. John Forsyth. Okay, so what is John Forsyth? Okay, so I do remember that show. I didn't watch it much, but I do remember it. Here it is. Things that work mostly listening. That's what Tom was trying to say. He says, not true. I'm not that young. I thought you were under 40, but I'll take your word for it. Lynn says Jennifer Jason Leigh in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Great cast for sure. It certainly was. And thank you again, Pablo S. John Forsyth. And a lot of people saying yes. Oh, to John Forsyth. And I'm sure Dominic D says, I guess Pamela Anderson could do grandma roles these days too. I am old. Aren't we all? We're certainly getting there. Cindy D says, I do as well, Pod Blast. I like Tim, the oldest son. He's cute. Oh, that's cute. And Gary Gabriel says, Geek, we're all young at heart. I don't know about that so much anymore, but we try. And Mr. Wilkinson says message retracted, and message retracted to you as well. And Daryl says, yes, it was John Forsythe. Thank you. And it was The Bachelor Father. Okay, so I do remember it. I remember it vaguely. I saw a few episodes. Not real well, but I do remember it. Oh, Tom says, what happened to Wizards? I keep getting sidetracked, dude. I keep getting sidetracked. Besides, I want to be able to actually do some live cuts and whatnot. But who knows? Soon. Soon, Mesame, soon. Pablo says John Forsythe. And guess who else was in Bachelor Father? Linda Hamilton. Blair. Harrison. You know what? I'm going to go with Linda Harrison. And Justin says you can only date Phoebe Cates if you're a 30-year-old and we're in the Big Chill. They actually got married. And are still married to this day, I believe. And Wilkinson says, yes, Vic Mara was in combat. And Pablo says, hint, Big Valley Dynasty, Linda Evans. Yeah, Linda, I would have got it, but you tipped the hand there. There are a lot of Linda celebrities. And Tug says, I always think of Jeffrey Jason Lee from Existence and Single White Female. I forgot she was in Single White Female. I haven't seen Single White Female in 30 years. Linda Day George is 78 or 79. Oh, Lance says, where's Emily? Good question. We haven't seen her. And Pablo says, what's the theme of the trivia tonight? At Superblake's request, we're going to do Lance Hendrickson trivia. Poor Superblake is always saying he doesn't like the topics I used. He asked for Lance Hendrickson. I'm going to honor it. We will do the Norman Lear next week. Steve says, I might have to watch Fargo. I have seen some of the previous seasons. The one with Billy Bob Thornton was great. Yeah, that was the first season. That was the first season, and I never actually saw it because I missed it. So I started with season 2. They never re-aired it. You'd had to pay to see it, but my wife got me Hulu. So I was finally able to see the one with Billy Bob Thornton. And he's great as the sort of angel of death hitman. I absolutely loved him. Great installment. When I'm done with season 5, I plan to go back and do sort of retrospects on 1 through 4, maybe. Zublik says, how old was Christopher George when he passed away? Not 100%. Tug says, Lance Hendrickson, oddly enough, Pod Blast. You are correct. Oh, Mandy's here. Oh, Mandy Butler. So glad to see you. We were just talking about Fargo. Mandy's a big fan of Fargo, by the way, and has been enjoying my retrospects. Mandy, I'm so glad you're able to make it tonight. Welcome to the party. She goes, Thrash. It's incredible. Thrash. Thank you. And, Lance, Norman Lear is going to be next week. Christopher George died in 1983 of a heart attack. Former Marine. Lance James said Luke Perry. Yes, Luke Perry was the cast member who said he was just getting old enough to play grandfather roles when he died. It's actually very sad. Thank you, Pablo. You're my human fact checker. So I'm so glad you can be here because you know what? I'm good. I'm pretty good at trivia, but you were lethal. And Mandy says, as a Gen X. Yes, we're a lot of Gen Xers here. John Collins says, Bob, is there any non-Pee-wee Paul Rubens stand-up? Yes, there is. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I don't know exactly to look under. But while that was his shtick, he did do some stand-up in the Pee-wee persona. Sean says to Lance, thank you. I couldn't think of Perry's last name for a second. A lot of people saying hello to Mandy. Pablo's like Bewitched all day long. Music Girl is here. Says hello there and good evening to Thrash and everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight. And here's hoping everyone's having a wonderful holiday season. Music Girl, you are always a ray of sunshine. It's so nice to have you here. By the way, thank you for joining us this evening. And of course, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and anything I may have left out. And I'll just see. A lot of people I Dream of Jeannie. A lot of people saying hello to one another. I'm sorry, Justin, you just jumped off there. I wonder if Norman Lear spun off into another character after his death. That's actually an excellent question. Mandy says Luke Perry in Buffy. He was. That's right. In the feature film. Lance Jamin says Podblast have me on. Okay, yeah, I passed it on to Podblast for you, Lance. Tracy says est, and an est to you as well. Podblast says message retracted. And am I caught up yet? Oh, I think I am. Hang on. Oop, almost. Justin says the non-Larry Cable guy stand up is pretty bad. It was Dan something, I believe. Glenn says, man, it's been too long. Hope you're well. Very nice to. Oh, Zuplik says Kwanzaa. Yes, let's not leave out Kwanzaa. Daryl says Christopher George was 52 years old when he died. Wow, very sad. And Pablo says, much appreciated, Lance. Was not intending to slight you or anyone, pal. Excluding people is not my bag. Gary Cameron says, Mandy, is there a minister handy? Tug says, that's awesome. Tracy, thank you so much. A lot of people saying hello to one another. And yes, it was 52 that he died. And yes, Tom, I am going to do Wizards, I promise. I'm just not entirely sure when, but I will do it, and I promise you. And Daryl says too young about David, yes. And Tug says Thrash thinking he's caught up will always be funny. Well, I'm actually just about caught up now. And everyone's saying it's so nice to see one another. Dave Sundstrom is here. Great to be here all. Wish I could stick around, but we're just getting ready to sit down to dinner. I'll listen to this one as I drift off to sleep tonight. See you all tomorrow. Yes. So glad you mentioned that, Dave. I did shamelessly plug on 2 occasions tomorrow's Retropalooza. And of course, Barry was on and he did as well. And I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to it. Stay on as long as you can, Dave, but thank you for stopping by and take care when you spin off. As it says, Emily is busy door dashing. Oh, I hope that's working out for her. Does she finally get the car fixed? A lot of people saying hello to Dave. And Bon Appetit, of course. Keely says, getting ready for the part 2 feed. I think the kicked out the button. Oh, no! You got kicked out? Oh, I'm so sorry, Keith. I'm glad you're back. WT says, see you tomorrow, Dave. Have a good night. Oh, thanks for the plug, Bob. Well, Dave, it's a plug for me, too. I'm a shameless little promoter. But yeah, Dave, I can't wait for it. I'm so looking forward to it, Dave. It's been too long. Emily the Girl says to Tracy, I saw your latest photo on Facebook. Love your glasses, and you look so cute in them. Yeah, Tracy, I love the photos you've been posting on Facebook. By the way, absolutely great. And Daryl says, first actor in the Godzilla suit has passed away. He was 88 years old. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Very sad. Very sad. Oh, and Tracy saying thanks. Teb says, which 70s Gary Marshall sitcom do you prefer better? The Odd Couple, Me and the Chimp, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Blansky's Beauties, Mork and Minnie's, or Angie? The only one I don't remember is Me and the Chimp. But I gotta tell you, I loved all of them. Probably Happy Days is my all-time favorite, but Laverne and Shirley and Mork and Mindy are certainly up there. And I loved The Odd Couple. So there's no wrong answer there. Pablo says, I mentioned you too, Dave, on Fist and on the live stream, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Oh, thank you. Very, very, very kind of you. Thank you very much, Podblast, and hope to see you tomorrow night. Zublik says, gorilla suit for Godzilla. Oh, Godzilla in a gorilla suit. That'd be a riot. And Mindy says, talk about some scary Christmas stuff. Well, I'm sure we will. And Tug says, Mark and Mindy from me. Gary Cameron says, DJ, first actor in the Godzilla suit. I thought he was 89. He may have 88, 89, but I think he might be 89. Sounds right to me too. Zublik says, I already selected The Odd Couple. And Indy Spout says, I find your lack of thumbs up disturbing. Yeah, we're like shy. We have 24 watches and only 17. Come on, folks, we can do better than that. WD says, I let a couple never saw me in the chip. I don't recall that one either. Lynn says, Tug, what's our next topic? Good question. Cindy says, Laverne and Shirley, the modern day Lucy and Ethel. They certainly were. They certainly were. Emil says, Thrash, is there trivia tonight? Hopefully, it's so difficult so I can at least get 3 out of 10. Oh, not so difficult. You know what? Yeah, we should actually start that out. Let me just finish these comments and we will. And it's Lance Hendrickson trivia. Pablo says, Hope it's cool to plug my music show here. It's 60s to 2010 music, so it's nostalgia. Ha. That's good. You can plug anything. You can plug anything you want here, Pod Blast. Everyone else can as well, by the way, but you definitely, because you're a huge friend of the channel, and I appreciate all your help. Justin says, How come Lucy and Ricky's best friends looked 50 years old when Lucy and Ricky looked about 30? They were their landlords. Remember, Lucy and Ricky moved into that house, which was being run by the Mertzes. They just ended up becoming friends with them. But originally, they were just tenants. And Mindy says, depends on, as a girl, really loved Laverne and Shirley. That was a good, excellent point. Oh, and Steve's here. He says, Laverne dead, Shirley dead, Squiggy dead, Lenny alive. Very good point. Very good point. And Kevin Scott 76 is here. Oh my God, Kevin, good to see you. Just finished my 8th performance of Living Christmas Tree. I'm so glad you were able to make it to come by, and you're just in time for trivia. And thank you for all that stuff you've been sending me on Facebook, by the way. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. But in any event, I'm going to start. And again, it's the combined works of Lance Hendrickson tonight. It was a special request from Superplex. Next week, I'm going to do Norman Lear. And as always, I'm going to start in no particular order. Number 10. Mr. Hendrickson played Frank Black in this X-Files spinoff. Was it A, The Lone Gunman, B, The Four Horsemen, C, Millennium, or D, The Y-Files? I shall repeat. Mr. Hendrickson played Frank Black in this X-Files spinoff. Was it A, The Lone Gunman, B, The Four Horsemen, C, Millennium, or D, The Y-Files? No one's going to say D, huh? You see what I did there? X-Files, Y-Files. And I decided I wanted to start with an easy one, and apparently I did, because you guys, Girl says Y-Files. That's funny, Thrash. Thank you, thank you. I decided I'm always going to try to give at least one funny answer, which isn't true, although sometimes the funny answer might be true, but just one that's like put out for laughs. And Laverne and Shirley trivia, please, Thresh. I can do that. I can do that. I'm not going to do Norman Lear next week because I don't want to like postpone Mr. Lear more than 1 week. I mean, the man just died after all, but yeah, I can do Laverne and Shirley trivia. I would love to do that. Cindy says I won't do the trivia because I don't know who that is. I bet as we go, you'll be like, oh, that was the guy from that, and that was the guy from that. I'd let you know, but that would be giving the game away at this stage. And Indy says, Hecklefish is a solid Greek chorus. I'll take your word for it. Number 9. Mr. Hendrickson featured in this revisionist Western flick. Was it A, Tombstone, B, Unforgiven, C, The Long Riders, or D, The Quick and the Dead? And I shall repeat. Mr. Hendrickson featured in this revisionist Western flick. Was it A, Tombstone, B, Unforgiven, C, The Long Riders, or D, The Quick and the Dead? Oh, man, he says, are you all in the Northeast? I am on Cape Cod. You can get much more northeast than that. And it has started raining. It's supposed to get windy and rainy. Tonight's going to be kind of a mess. Hopefully tomorrow morning isn't too bad. My wife's car needs, there's something wrong with the brakes. I have to have it towed to a mechanic. And that'll be a real pain if everything's washed away. So everybody wish me luck, pray for me, all that sort of rot. Oh, look, Dave's here. Dave says C. The Long Riders? Or are you answering the earlier question? Oh, and Brogan's here says hello, everyone. And a few more people are popping in. Oh, and Indy says Ace Hanlon really knew how to twirl a mustache. Yes, he certainly did. And and Mindy says yes, Cape Cod is exotic land to me. Oh yeah, I remember you were watching some of my posts on Pons's Pond. Yes, yes. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. And I briefly pan to that sort of gray house with the red trim. You could just see through the trees. That's my house. And anyway, in answer to the question, it's Ace Hanlon, and it was the Quick and the Dead was the post. I'm sorry, not post was the revisionist Western flick. And moving forward to number 8, he played an alpha vampire in this cult action horror flick. Was it A, Near Dark, B, Return to Salem's Lot, C, The Hunger, or D, Life Force? I shall repeat. He played an alpha vampire in this cult action horror flick. A, Near Dark, B, Return to Salem's Lot, C, The Hunger, or D, Life Force. Give you guys another second to. Dave says Mr. T. Did he do any movies with Mr. T? I don't think so. Most of Mr. T's movies were pretty bad. No offense. Zoop, you missed one. Took this, by the way, Thrash. You never gave us the answer to number 2. I didn't. Oh, I'm getting forgetful from my old age. So I'll do a quick read through. Number 10 was A, Millennium. Millennium was the short-lived, well, it lasted a couple seasons. Spinoff of X Files. Like everyone got that. 9 was The Quick and the Dead. That's D. And 8 is Near Dark. He played Jesse Hooker in Near Dark, which I love that movie. You know the little blonde in it, the one that the main character falls in love with. You know she's one of the groupies in the movie The Wall. The one who actually tries to seduce Pink. I know, right? She was like 17 when she did that movie. Okay, number 7. Lance Hendrickson had a part in this 80s. Hold on. Can't read my own handwriting. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll come in again. Mr. Hendrickson had a part in this 80s horror anthology reboot Renaissance flick. Was it A, Twilight Zone, B, Creepshow, C, Creepshow 2, or D, Nightmares? And I shall repeat. Lance Hendrickson had a part in this 80s horror anthology reboot Renaissance flick. Blank. A, Twilight Zone, speaking of Twilight Zone. B, Creepshow. C, Creepshow 2. Or D, Nightmares. Pumpkinhead was not one of the selections. Well, oh, hang on. Teb says Jenny Wright is her. Yes, Jenny Wright was the actress who played the groupie. And I see the answers are kind of people are picking different answers. I gotta hand it to you guys. It's not a particularly good one, so I'm just gonna go and say I'm guessing the people who got it guessed. It's Nightmares. It wasn't very good. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. But he was in it, and it was part of that. In the mid '80s, there was this obsession with anthology flicks. I think people were discovering the works of Amicus, and so there was this like brief renaissance of anthologies, hence the Twilight Zone and the Creep Show, and it was called Nightmares, and it wasn't very good, but he did have a part in it. And moving forward, number 6, and then we'll get scores. Which of these sequels did not feature Mr. Hendrickson? A. Aliens. B. Pet Cemetery. C. Omen 2. Or D. Scream 3. I shall repeat. Which of these sequels did not feature Mr. Hendrickson? A. Aliens. B. Pet Cemetery. C. Omen 2. Or D. Scream 3. Um, I'm sorry, man. I think you were being ironic. Aliens was like his breakthrough movie. So yes, he was definitely in Aliens. I'm afraid. Oh, she said, "I got it." I'm with you. Give a few minutes because the answers are just starting to come in. Or did I? Tug says you got the spelling correctly, Indy. Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, you did. You did. And Pablo says, nah, not Lance. Out in half by a cable in that elevator in Omen 2. That was another caricature. No, the actual film that he was not in, the sequel that did not feature him, was Pet Cemetery 2. He was in the other films. And how about some scores? While I have a swig of my Syrian brandy, or should it be Saurian brandy? Remember, being a dinosaur is never having to say I'm Saurian. No, I don't have to impress you people. Good thing too. Okay. Oh, I'm skipping the scores because I'm so busy pontificating. Zublex is 2 of 5. Jonas is 4 of 5. Mandy's really. Watching is 3 of 5. Tug is 4 of 5. I missed the nightmares. Cindy D is 0 for 0 because she's abstaining. Oh my god, Cindy, did you see SNL last night? To be continued. Gary Carpenter is 3 of 5. Lisa Field is here. Hey, Thresh. Hi, everybody. Can't stay long. Just wanted to say hi. Oh, I'm so glad you did, Lisa. We missed you, by the way, and I love those photos that you're posting on Facebook. You have such a beautiful family. And 3 of 5 for Music Girl. At least I've already hit my goal. There you go. There you go. Another swig of the old granddad for the old granddad. Tab is 5 of 5. A lot of people saying hi to Lisa because we all love her. And Indy says 5 for 5. Quasi lucky guess on Nightmares. Like I say, I'm guessing a lot of people didn't see it. It wasn't good, so I don't blame people for not seeing it. But Dominic D is 3 of 5. Oh, you're very welcome, Lisa. And there was something I was going to say. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Anyway, if I think of it, I'll blurt it out later. But I'm going to pick up now with number 5. In addition to Aliens, he was also supposedly to play a cyborg in this sci-fi cult classic. This is a great story. Was it A. Logan's Run, B. The Terminator, C. Saturn 3, or D. Westworld? Wow. You people could at least wait till I finish reading the question. In addition to Aliens, he was supposedly to play a cyborg in this sci-fi cult classic. Was it A. Logan's Run, B. Terminator, C. Saturn 3, or D. Westworld? I'm not going to wait for people to put their answers in. Yes, it was Terminator. He was originally slated to play the Terminator, but when Cameron got the opportunity to have Schwarzenegger, who was trying to build his film career in the States, he was like, yeah, well, you know what, Lance? We've already signed a contract, so we'll give you another part. We'll make you a cop or something. But yeah, he was supposed to play the Terminator. Terminator wasn't supposed to be like this big hulking, frightening thing. It was just supposed to be like a person. Number 4. Mr. Hendrickson was in this cult sci-fi after-school special of a film. Was it A. Powder, B. The Truman Show, C. Contact, or D. Phenomenon? Mr. Hendrickson was in this cult sci-fi after-school special of a film. Was it A, Powder, B, The Truman Show, C, Contact, or D, Phenomenon? Oh, The Omen wasn't one of the choices. And you think The Omen was an after-school special? What kind of school did you go to? Oh, great Omen story, by the way. You know how at the very end when they're at the funeral and the little boy turns and he faces the camera and he breaks the fourth wall and he gives that sort of devilish sort of smile? Do you know how they got that smile? The director told him to turn around. He goes, no, just turn around and stare at the camera. Don't smile. Don't smile. Don't smile. And he was serious. So the kid thought he wasn't supposed to smile. And of course, he's a kid. So he's like, but the guy did it on purpose. He wanted him to smile. But it was such a beautifully executed scene. So, yes, Powder. Podblast says James Enstall BK introduced me to him. Geek to Me Radio on here, YouTube, Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Excellent. Dave says, I don't know who's on first. I'm not asking who's the guy on second. I don't know, third base. And he says, you think Powder was an after school special, Thresh? It was the whole anti-bullying thing where, people are teasing him because he's different, and the more he tries to show that he's of value, the worse it gets for him because of the small-minded bullies. When I saw it reminded me of some of those anti-bullying things they had us watch when we were kids that we swore we'd never do, and look where we've gotten. But yeah, no, it's not really an after-school special. No, of course not. Of course not. Anthony says, Diary of a Teenage Runaway was an after-school special back in the day. Isn't that the one where the girl's diabetic? And they find her because she goes into a diabetic coma because she loses her medicine. I swear to God, it's been like 50 years, but for some reason I remember like being like really really sort of like as a child 'cause I thought she was going to die. And if I'm thinking of a different special, please forgive me. There were a lot of those back then. I remember back in the day, and some were like really really cool, like Homer Price stuff where they really get the heavy material, and then some of them got dark. Oh wow, some of them got dark. And he says Powder was directed by Victor Salva. He's required by law to stay at least 500 feet away from after school specials. As I was reading that, I thought you were actually serious. Good one. That you actually got me hook, line, and sinker. The Pablo says Patty Duke with her son Sean Austin in Please Don't Hit Me, Mom. ABC After School Special 1981. My middle school did that one as a stage play. And if you think it's tough to watch as an after school special, try to watch it being performed by 13-year-old kids who can't keep a straight face when they're supposed to be being abused. It was this like bizarre charade pantomime. Well, I'm going back to 1982, and it still stays with me to this day. And the kids who were in it were snot rags anyway. So anyway, at the risk of being a bully. And Music Girl says, I'm happy there are quite a few of the after school specials right here on YouTube. To acquire them on DVD is quite pricey. There have been a couple I've been looking for that I can't seem to find, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Anyway, let's move forward. But yes, Powder was the correct answer. Number 3. Mr. Hendrickson's android character in Aliens was named after this chess piece. Was it A, knight, B, rook, C, bishop, or D, pawns? I didn't even realize that when I was actually writing that question. I go, let's see what's under the chess piece. Oh, pawns. It's a pawns sacrifice. But yes, I'll repeat the question. Mr. Hendrickson's android character in Aliens was named after this chess piece. A. Knight, B. Rook, C. Bishop, or D. Pawns? And Mandy says, Fall Guy Heather Thomas. I had such a crush on her. Possibly the only person who, shall we say, exceeded Phoebe Cates. Speaking of Phoebe Cates, like we were earlier, yeah, Heather Thomas might have just narrowly tipped the scales. Cindy D says, I don't see that plot thrash, but it's it started. Oh, it starred. It starred Eve Plum. I'll read that question again because I butchered it. I don't see that plot thrash, but it starred Eve Plum. Okay, no, the one I saw, it wasn't Eve Plum. This girl had dark hair, so they probably did more than one on Runaways, but I do remember one on Runaways. Zublik says your favorite Heather. There's no wrong answer. Heather Locklear was great, but I would probably have to go with Heather Thomas. Yes. And Gary Cameron says Dominic Scott was in a movie about some kids going to New York City by bus. Oh, oh, yes, yes, I know that one. I can't think of the name of it. Pablo says Heather Thomas was the best part of '80s on TV. She certainly was. Marky Post wasn't too shabby either. No, she was not. Oh my god, guys, my buddy JT is here. JT Chronicles. Hello, my dude. Love your page. And you are a. Oh, I'll come in again. You just jumped as I was reading it. Love your page and you as a person. At JT Praise from Caesar. This guy is awesome. For those of you on Facebook, you can follow the JT Chronicles on Facebook. He's got posts right here on YouTube. In fact, a music girl or Dan, could you please give a link to Mr. JT in the comment section below? He is the power of positive thinking, by the way. Oh, and by the way, you did tell your wife I said happy birthday to her, correct? I'll assume that's a yes. But JT, so glad you're here. We're just about to finish up the trivia. Tonight it's the roles of Lance Hendrickson, and it's so great to have you with us. Oh, and by the way, yes, Bishop was the answer. So let's see. Question 2. Mr. Hendrickson had a role in this I'll come in again. Mr. Hendrickson had a role in this Predator franchise installment. Was it A, Predator, B, Predator 2, C, Alien versus Predator, or D, To Catch a Predator? I shall repeat. Mr. Hendrickson had a role in this Predator franchise installment. A, Predator, B, Predator 2, C, Alien versus Predator, or D, To Catch a Predator. JT says, just got home. I will set me alarm now for your live post. That is awesome. That is awesome. We're going to stick to 7:30 on Sundays. 7:30 until whenever. I'm probably going to sign off a little early tonight. By the way, I got a huge day. Get out my wife's car towed to the mechanic tomorrow. Long story. But anyway, 7:30 usually to about 9ish. Oh, and if you have a chance, check out Dave Sundstrom's Retro Palooza, of which I am one of the pals. We're going to be having a special Christmas memory episode on Dave Sundstrom's channel. And yes, set your alarm. I read phonetically, but I knew whereof you meant. Oh, isn't he Wayland? Yes, he's Charles Bishop Wayland. I always love the fact that they worked the name Bishop into there as well. And JT says, okay, 7:30. Awesome sauce. And let's see. It says message retracted. CDD says, yeah, Sean Innes, but I still don't know him. Ziblik says, what kind of car? T-Pawns. A Honda Pilot. Actually, no, my wife's car. My wife drives a Nissan Xterra. In this case, with no brakes. And let's see where it was. Yes, Alien versus Predator, and he plays Charles Bishop Whalen. And the number one question, wrapping up tonight's trivia, is in which film was he not also featured with late great Bill Paxton? A. The Right Stuff. B. Aliens. C. Terminator. D. Near Dark. And I shall repeat. In which film was Mr. Hendrickson not also featured with late great movie actor Bill Paxton? A. The Right Stuff. B. Aliens. C. Terminator. Or D. Near Dark. Ooh. uh, Dave says Ford Pinto. Who did I know? I knew someone who had a Pinto. Oh, I knew someone who had a Pinto. My buddy Eric had a Pacer. No, he had a Vega. I dated this unbalanced girl with the the unbalanced girl dated the Pacer. Drove the Pacer. My buddy Eric had a Vega. But who had the Pinto? Oh well, it's oh, and apparently everyone got this one. Oh, and he says, "Hey, Paxton was born in '55, a baby boomer." Yes, he was. He was a few years older than we were. Dave says, "White stuff, Oreo cookie, the white stuff." Hey, Mister Big Stuff, and Dave says, "How much is Studebaker?" I don't know. A Studebaker. How much is the Studebaker? $9.99. Oh, $19.99. But anyway, yes, it was the right stuff, which is a pity. I think they'd both be excellent in that movie, but they weren't. So anyway, so yes, how about some final scores? Kevin says we had a Hornet car. Let the Green Hornet. Music Girl says there were no questions for Pumpkinhead. That's the only film I know fairly well with that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like Pumpkinhead. I didn't like it. I don't think I even seen it all the way through. Watch Me got 7 for 10, and I apologize if you like the movie. Watch Me is 7 for 10. Superlex is 5 for 10. Tug is 9 out of 10. Mandy says Bill Paxton in Terminator was yes, he was one of the punks. Nothing clean, right? Sean Innes is 8 for 10. Sarah says Giggle Ponds. Cindy D is 0 for 10. 0 for 0 because you were out. Dave says got 199. Dominic D is 7 for 10. Tug says, I know, Music Girl. I was waiting for it. Indy's Bud says, talk about being in my wheelhouse. 10 for 10. Excellent. Gary Carpenter says, Dave, a bear in his native habitat is a stewed up baker. Yes. The original Muppet movie. Keely says, I listened, and that's about it. That's cool. That's cool. Sean Innes says, Thrash, there's a question for you. What Al Pacino film did Lance Hendrickson feature in? I'll have to get back to you. Johnny says 2 for 10. I guess I joined late. No problem. Tab is 10 for 10. Karen Scott Smith says, sorry, I was driving. Did I win? Yes, you did. Zublik says Dog Day Afternoon. Ooh. Ooh, yes, okay. Thank you, Zublik. Dog Day Afternoon is my guess too. And John H says 2 for 3. Those I saw. And purely guessing. Gary Carpenter is 6 for 10. Sean Ennis says, nice, you are correct. David says, I thought a Studebaker was a car. It is. Remember, it's the car that they buy in the Muppet movie. The two cars crash into each other. One of them is a Studebaker. And Musical says to Tug, no Pumpkinhead, no bueno. I'm sorry. My Flux says, I got 10,000 out of 10,000. I'm that good. Yes, you certainly are. Mandy says, I have nominated Bill Paxton for Gen X. I don't know if you have been paying attention, man, but we got our asses kicked. Yes, we certainly did, didn't we? Cindy D says, I had a Ford Pinto at 17. I thought I was a Charlie's Angel as Kate Jackson had one. That is very, very cool. See, that's so cool. And Tug says, so who was Lance Henriksen in Dog Day Afternoon? He was one of the cops, wasn't he? I believe, if I remember, I haven't seen that movie in years, but I believe he was one of the cops. And China says Lance plays a cop who acts all innocent, but then shoots John Caviezel. Thank you. And Musical says, I remember the Gremlins. Zubik says, I think he was an FBI agent. Yes, he was. And Doug says, Gizmo, Grogu, I said it. And Dave says, I heard bad things about Pintos. Yes. Wasn't that the car where the gas tank was right behind the rear axle? So if it was hit from behind, the gas would spill onto the hot axle and cause the car to explode. There's like a whole thing going on in my memory banks. If that's correct, let me know. If it's incorrect, let me know as well. Cindy says, I hated it. My dad bought it for me. Really? But I thought you were an angel. Musical says the car Gremlin Thrash wasn't that the name of it. Oh, yes, yes. I don't remember anybody who had a gremlin. Oh, wait. The Pacer? You might be right. I again, we're going back like 40 years, and I was never like a big car buff as a kid. Indy's Belt says John Caviezel uh, only had a major role in 5 movies. All 5 were nominated for Best Picture. I think if he had lived longer, he would have like truly been great. What is your favorite? Actually, while we're on this, what's your favorite John Cazeel movie? I would probably go with The Deer Hunter. To be honest with you, I really liked his performance in that. Keith, he says you would send your mother-in-law out in a Pinto with some Firestone 500s on it. Mrs. Thrash might be lurking about, and I'm not supposed to speak ill of the dead. Tug says, I know nothing about cars, but I know lots about gremlins. Anyway. So, guys, like I said, I think we might wrap things up a little early tonight, by the way. I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow. Any last minute topics? We never did talk about 2023, did we? Everybody give me one memory of 2023. Everybody remember something. And we'll take it from there. Zublik says Godfather Part 2, Dog Afternoon, The Conversation, and The Deer Hunter. I don't remember The Conversation, but I believe that's all 5 of his movies. Crow Minion is here, says, hey, Thrash and Chat, just dropping in to say hello. Been well. Yes, Crow Minion, and you are sorely missed. Can't tell you how nice it is to have you by. I'm so glad you could stop by, and please stay for as long as you'd like. Mindy says, a Pinto. Don't hate, LOL. Some good times. That's nice. Indy Spout says, thanks for the trivia trash. You're very, very welcome. Dave says, don't feed the gremlins after midnight. Exactly. And there's something else. Don't get them near water. And Music Girl says, when is Dave live? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. It's on his channel. He put up a post, but I want to say 7:30 or 8, one of those two. Shotgun says probably Godfather 2, but yeah, Deer Hunter was great too. I could never warm up to the character Fredo. I thought he did an excellent job playing Fredo, but Fredo was such a unlikable character. I couldn't really get into. Of course, he plays something of an asshole in Deer Hunter too. So, someone says, "Good evening, Thrash. Thanks for the trivia. You're very, very welcome." Shona says the conversation was with Gene Hackman. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Tug says, I remember all Thrash's trivia, but almost no answers. Uh, John H. says, I thought the Suzuki Samurai since you mentioned defective autos. Gary Cameron says to Crow, where have you been hiding? Good question. Good question, Gary. Oh, look who's here. The Golden Rage of TV says, hey, guys, Monday it is. While you're here, Pat, well, first of all, thank you so much for joining us, by the way. It is a great honor. The fourth Retro Pal has just showed up tonight. I've been plugging tomorrow's show all night. What is the specific time? Someone asked me, and I can't remember if it's 7:30 or 8. So, Pat, please let us know. Pablo says, fun show and fellow nostalgia heads. Thanks for the love, my flock. Will send love your way too. Oh, thank you. And Ted says, my memory of 2023 was having about the passing of Matthew Perry. A piece of our childhood was gone forever. He was the clown of our generation. He was the comic. He was everybody's best friend. And when he died, that was a huge loss. Cindy says Pintos gave you a warm feeling as Ford advertised it. That was bad. People died. That's correct, Thrash. I liked it, but still scared to drive it. Ooh, dude. I'm very sorry. Oh, and Pablo says, hope everyone has a fine week ahead. Thank you. Dominic D moved in 2023. How can you not remember the conversation? It's a classic. I'm sorry, I don't think I ever saw it. And Music Girl says, my favorite memory of 2023 is finding so many friends in this group. Oh, thank you, Thrash, for that. Music Girl, thank you. I can't tell you how much that meant. Oh my, thank you. That was very, very nice. And you are so welcome. Oh, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Yes, Golden Ridge says 8:30 Eastern. Excellent. Thank you very, very much. And Crow says, seem to always be missed the streams recently. No excuses. No worries. You can always catch up. There shall be more. Oh, and Cindy says it's the 50th anniversary of hip hop. That's very, very interesting. And Kevin says, I thought you were always alive. And let's just see. Everybody's saying hello to Pat. Pat's saying hello back. Jonah says it's definitely worth a watch when you have the time. Put on your list of conversation. I certainly will. And Teb says, Thresh, can I please suggest you do a Gary Marshall themed trivia in 2024? I will. I promise. I will. That's a very, very good request, and I will do it. And Jonah says, favorite 2023 moment getting past being sick before Thanksgiving. I feel really good now. And Keith says, mention all the people who see on replay. Thank you for reminding me, Keith. And I'm sure I'm going to miss some people, but hello, Baked Bean. Hello, House of Alex. Hello to Miss Emily, Miss M, who wasn't here tonight, who normally is, and anyone else who I might be forgetting. I want to say hello to you all. Now, next week, as we all know, is going to be Christmas. And I don't know if I can do a show next Sunday. If I do decide to do a show next Sunday, now that I think it just dawned on me how close we were. If I do a show, I will let you know. I'll of course, post it in my upcoming events thing, like join me this Sunday, yada yada blah blah blah. So I want to, but if I don't, please forgive me. How's that? I want to, and I will certainly try to, but if I don't, apologizing in advance. And I will see all of you, I'm sure. Oh, Pat says, well, just had a minute to pipe in. See you tomorrow. Can't wait to talk with you, Thrashman. Pat, I can't wait to talk to you either. It's been way too long. It's been way too long. I'm so looking forward to tomorrow's Retropalooza. And I'm glad you stopped in, and I will definitely see you tomorrow. You take care, my brother. And Mike Silva's here. Oh, Mike, hey, how's it going? I'm so glad you now we're just wrapping things up, but I'm very glad you'd make it. You could make it tonight. In any event, again, I want to thank you guys for being here. I so love these. They get me through the week. They really do. They really get me through the week. So glad you guys could make it. Hope you have a great rest of the month, a great rest of the year. Um, I'll see you all tomorrow. And that kind of blows the whole. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again very, very, very soon. I'm just going to say that. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again very, 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 very soon. Peace.